Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. I do love doing these Sudoku puzzles every day, and today it's Marvin Canhauser, and this has always been an interesting challenge. Marvin is a great constructor, and today he's sent us something called Same But Different. Now, don't forget that you can check out our content on Patreon. Competition's up to the 20th, easier one this month, we believe, and lots going on all the time on Patreon. There's also, of course, our Wordle stuff every day. There's the Discord server. There's all our apps and Sven's SUDOKU PAD. Check them all out on the links under the video. But the first link's to this puzzle. And it says that normal Sudoku rules apply. Clues outside the grid are either sandwich, X sums, or little killer. One type each being red, blue, and green. And grey clues may be any of the types. Now, what do these types mean? Sandwich, the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column is 15. Oh, all the clues outside the grid are 15, I see. So, if that was the sandwich clue, between the 1 and the 9 in that row, the digits would add up to 15. So, that would work, for instance, as a possibility. But I don't know if green is sandwich. X sums, right, the first X digits from that direction sum to 15 where X is the first digit, so we could have 3, 8, 4, and that would work for green because we're saying that the first 3 digits add up to 15, and you can see that they would then. And little killer. Now on the little killer, 15 is the sum of a diagonal pointing away from the clue, which may include repeats. So that's either going to be this diagonal or that diagonal. Let's just colour those for a moment. So this one could be 8, 7. That didn't work very well. Let's try that again with numbers. 8, 7. So that would answer this little killer clue. Or alternatively, this one could add up to 15 by being 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, say. And I think that would work. So there's a lot of options. The greys, as I say, can be any of the types. And we have to obviously identify what red, blue, and green are. So do give it a try if you fancy this on the link under the video. You can have a look at the video length to see how long it took me. I have no idea how long this is going to take. I think a lot of it is going to depend on how quickly we can identify the types, but I have no real idea. So let's see how it goes and let's get cracking. So we have very little to go on until we know the types, I think. Right, so there are, okay, I don't know what to do, but there are 4 greens looking this way, and that's, yeah, okay, let's say X sums. What digits could you begin an X sums row of 15 with? And the answer is, you couldn't begin it with 2 because you'd need a 13 in the next to make the 2 add up to 15. So that's impossible. So it could be a 3 in the example we showed, 3, 8, 4. It could be a 4, relatively easy to do, except I can't count. 4, 3, 2, 6 would be 15. And it could be a 5 by being 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in some order. But it can't be any more than that because those are obviously the minimum 5 digits. So these greens can't be X sums because you need to have 3, 4, 5 and some other number in that column, and they all see each other. Okay, so green is not X sums, and I'm not sure. Well, it's a start. It's one of the matrix of 9 possibilities ruled out, I suppose. Can we either? I don't think. Based on that, you see, if blue was X sums, these could be 3, 4, 5. Oh, this one's looking down, so it's a bit different. I'm wondering whether we should try and analyse more about green or try and find which is definitely X sums first. Let's have a think about this. If they were 3, 4, 5 in blue, this couldn't be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 up here, so it couldn't start with a 5 because it would crash into those. Now if this was a 3, those would add up to 12, but you couldn't use 3, 4 or 5, so that's impossible. So that would have to be a 4, and that might be the right answer. So if that's a 4, and you can't use 3 or 5 here, you can do it with 4, 1, 2, 8. I think you'd probably have to do exactly that. Okay, so blue can be X sums, bother. I'm sure red can be, because there's so little restriction on just 2 of them. Okay, let's think about green again then, and whether it can be... Well, I just don't think there's much restriction on sandwich. You could have a lot of 15 sandwiches in a puzzle. So I'm going to have to think about little killer and why that might be a problem. Oh, obviously it's a problem for green. This can't be little. Look at this 15 here, which has either that or that as its little killer. That's nonsense. Okay, this is the straightforward way to go. So green is definitely sandwich. We've got that. I don't know how to show that, but I'm going to remember it. Green is sandwich. Now, blue, can we rule blue out from being, yes, this one. Ooh, could that be 15 on the diagonal? There must be one of these that can be ruled out. This bottom one. I don't know, maybe not. Can blue be the little killer? That's what I'm asking. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 8. A 1 is a 9. Yeah, that's fine. But look at, take these two in conjunction. Then this group of cells, which contains both of the possible diagonals, because obviously 15 isn't ever going to be a 1-cell diagonal, they're going to have to add up to 30. And you can put 1, 2, 3 in each box. Oh, are you kidding? That's exact. Okay. That's beautiful. This only misses by 1. In theory, you could put 1, 2, 3 in each box that this sort of diagonal snake touches. And that would be 6 lots, or 5 lots of 1, 2, 3 equals 6. That would add up to 30. You could make these two diagonals work somehow, but that group would fail because you can't have 1, 2, 3 in a box with a 3 in it. That's very clever. So blue is not X sums. Blue is therefore, blue is not little killer. Blue is therefore X sums. And we worked out this can't be a 5 because you'd have 3 and 4 down here and you couldn't make up the 15. It can't be a 3 because you'd have 4 and 5 down here. And these two couldn't add up to 12 anymore, which is very pretty. So this is a 4. This is a 3, 5 pair down here. Blue is X sums. Red is little killer, which is interesting. Either that adds up to 15. Actually, I think I might colour it yellow, or one of the yellows adds up to 15, and one of the reds adds up to 15 as well. Bit difficult to restrict those at the moment, so I'm not going to try it now. What do we learn with this 3 and 5, if anything? Oh, we've also learnt that, yeah, blue is X sums, red is little killer. I've got it. Don't worry, I've remembered. I know you weren't worried. I don't think we can use any of the greys yet, because we just don't know what's going on with them. So I'm going to try and focus on the X sums, although there doesn't seem to be much to go on. I've got a 4 in the grid. Right, what can we do with this 3 and 5? Right, the 3, oh yeah, that's interesting. The 3 needs its other 2 digits to add up to 12. And they must be 4 and 8, because 3 and 5 have already been used in this box. So 4 and 8 are in those cells. The 5, the 5 is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since 3, 5, 4 have been used up in these cells, it's going to use a 2, 1 either there or there, with a 3, 4 either there or there. I don't think that informs me about anything in terms of red and yellow particularly. Oh, and these are opposite 15 sandwich clues. So the one that goes 5, 1, it either goes 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4, 3, or 5, 2, 1, 4, 3. And that is going to have a 15 sandwich clue, and that sandwich is going to include the 4 and the 3, and maybe the 2. So it's only going to include one. Yeah, that's not enough to make up 15. And I don't think the sandwich, oh, we can't have a 9 there by Sudoku. So the 9 opposite this 1 has to be in one of those two cells. And it's either going to be a sandwich of 2, 3, 4, 6. Or the 1 is there and then it's 3, 4, 8. So there's either an 8 or a 6 next to the 9. Now what about the other one? The other one goes 3, 4, 8 over here. Okay, so then what's the sandwich between 9 and 1 going to be made up of? The only digits available are 2, 5, 6 and 7, which add up to 20. So we have to take out 5. So 2, 6, 7 is going to be the sandwich in the other case. It's going to involve those, the 2 cells in the middle. And, oh, the 9 is obviously not going to be in this box. It's going to be in this area. The 1 is going to be in this area. And then 2, 6, 7 are going to come between them, either there, 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 or there. Now, I don't know if that really does impose restrictions. It doesn't feel like it does much. I mean, I do think this is important. Now, what else do we know about the 1s and 9s? Right, we've got a 9 there and a 9 somewhere here. So there's going to be a 9 up here. In fact, this is a 9, 6, 7 triple, I've only just realized. Then the 1 in this row isn't in that box or this box, so it's somewhere up here. Well, it's not going to be there because you couldn't get the 15 sandwich in before the 9. So the 1's going to be in one of those 2 cells. Ah, now these yellows are getting a bit big. They can't have a 1 in. They would have to have a minimum of 2, 3, 5. Because they can't both have a 3 and a 4 in, because 3 and 4 are confined there. So the minimum for these cells would be 2, 3, 5. That adds up to 10. That leaves a maximum for these of 15, and that's not going to work. So this yellow is not a little killer diagonal. The yellow little killer diagonal is up there. That is either 7, 8 or 6, 9. Now, I don't think... Oh, red's got a 6, 7 or 9 on it. Well, it can't have a 9 on it here because that would need... Oh, hang on. This might not be the red diagonal. Okay, but can I rule this out from being the red diagonal? That's maybe more interesting. I don't think I can yet. If that was a 6 with a 2, 3 there, that would be 11, and a 1, 3 there is possible. So I can't rule out the 5 cell red diagonal. Can I rule out this one for any reason? 34, those would add up to 11. Don't think so. Right, let's have a look at this sandwich then. If the 9 was here, then it would be 6, 7, 2, 1. And that's possible. Don't know. If the 9 was here, that would be 7 or 6. The trouble is it doesn't really focus where the 1 is or what it's doing, so I don't think that's very helpful. Oh, bother. Okay, I'm getting a bit bogged down now. This 15, I don't know, it could begin with 3 or 4, which would be useful X sums numbers. It could easily be a sandwich. I think it could even achieve 15 on the diagonal there, so I don't think that grey one is any use to me. I think I'm gonna, oh, of course, this group adds up to 15. I'd forgotten that, right. And we can't have a 3 or a 5 in it. So do we have to have 8, 1, 2? If we didn't have 3 or 5, the minimum is 4, 1, 6 for the lowest 3 digits. Yeah, if the lowest digits weren't 4, 1, 2, the minimum is 4, 1, 6, which would need another 4, or 4, 2, 6. Yeah, I think this has to be 4, 8, 1, 2. Just need to think that through. Sorry. If you didn't use 1 or 2, you'd have to use 6 or 7. And then surely you'd have to use another very low number. Yeah, that doesn't work. It has to be 4, 8, 1, 2. That's a little complicated, but it is definitely right. So that's become an 8. That makes this a 7 to make the little killer work there. Now, what are these? These are part of a 6, 7, 9 triple with that. This one can't be 9. Ooh, okay, well this must have bust this diagonal. These can't be any less than 2, 3. Plus 6 is 17. So that red diagonal is not happening. Sorry, this one is dead. Dead to me. This red diagonal does add up to 15. Now, if it didn't have a 9 in, the highest digits possible are 6, 5, 3, which only add up to 14. So it does have a 9 in. Then it's either 9, 1, 5 or 9, 2, 4. It can't be 9, 2, 4, so it's 9, 1, 5. 1 there, and those are a 9, 5 pair. These remaining cells in the box are 2, 3, and 6, adding up to 11. That makes sense. This has become a 2. Right, so I'm done with my reds, my given reds. Those are finished effectively. This 2, therefore, is not a lot of use. Oh, I've got a green sandwich clue here with a 1 there. So where's the 9 going to be here? It could be 3 cells of a sandwich or 4. The 9's going to be in one of those 2 places. Doesn't really get much else done. Down here, this hasn't fixed anything for me. I don't have any diagonals coming down here to worry about. Right, so what do I have to go on? Is it worth thinking? Oh, this can't be a little killer clue, can it? 8, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 16 is the absolute minimum for those digits, given the 3 and the 5. Can it be X sums? I think it could begin with a 3. It couldn't begin with a 5 or a 4. But it could be a 3. No, it couldn't be a 3. Oh, that's interesting. This top left one can't be X sums because the first 5 digits couldn't add up to 15 because they'd need a 4. The first 4 digits couldn't add up to 15 because you'd have to put a 4 there. And the first 3 digits would need those 2 to add up to 12 once you've put a 3 there. And now they can't be 3, 9, 4, 8 or 5, 7 again, which is lovely. So this 15, which can't be little killer or X sums, is another sandwich clue. I might colour that cell green to remind myself that that is a sandwich clue. Because I don't know. Ooh, we've got a 9 there and a 9 there. So 9 is in one of these 2 cells. Doesn't mean it's in the sandwich necessarily. That could be a 9. Don't know. Sorry about the buzzes and the beeps that you may be able to hear going on. Now, this is sandwich, but... Oh, so if that was a 9, the sandwich would... I mean, there's so many ways of making up a 15 sandwich, though, aren't there? Maybe not. Maybe it would have to be 3 cells. I don't know. I don't think I can rule that down. Oh, this is a sandwich. Yes, that's how I got there's a 9 there. I've got a sandwich going on down here somewhere. Could that be a 9? If that was an 8-7 pair, yes. We've got a sandwich going on in this row. Oh yes, we've got this issue of not knowing which of these rows is 3 and which of them is 5. Don't know how to deal with that. These middling clues, I just don't think they look very useful, since they can all be sandwiches and they seem a little hard to stop being X sums. I suppose... No, I mean, these could be 3 or 5 beginning X sums up here. And even little killers possible for some of them. Oh, this is tricky, Marvin. Okay, that's not a 7. I've just noticed that. Is there some Sudoku to do at this point? Wow, I'm really missing something here. So one of these has a 276 sandwich filling, doesn't it? Somewhere in this region. How do I use that? I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. 5, 9 there. Don't know how to use that. This 6, 7, 9 triple. Now, I don't know, it would be useful to try and establish where the 9 is here, but I just don't think I have a way of doing that. Oh, this is getting harder. Okay, let's think about this 15 sum. 2, 3, 4, 6 is always the absolute minimum numbers that could make a 4-cell 15 sum, and they could easily sit there. I mean, it almost looks like they want to. But alternatively, if that's a 9, then these two and that together add up to 15, which could be done by 6, 2, 7. And actually that's the only way, otherwise it would be 6, 3, 6 or 2, 3, 10. So this is either a 7 or from 2, 3, 4, 6. This is either a 9 or from 2, 3, 4, 6. No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. That 9, is that part of a... I don't know. I don't really want to think about these 2 clues at the top. There's a bit of a break that I thought about this one. Maybe we've got a 9 there. We've got a 9 here. We've got a 9 in one of those. 9s are all over this place. Maybe I could rule out a 9 from that. That would have 6, 7, 2, 1. What's the problem with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. These would be from 5, 6, 7, 8. That one would have to be 5 or 8. Do I need... I mean, I don't see how I can split these 2 rows as being different. I don't know what I've got going on in them yet. I think I'm only going to be able to break those up by virtue of the grey 15s, to be honest. Nothing else is really going to impact them, in the sense that they could be swapped round until I know something about the grey 15s. So, do I need to think about this? I probably do now. I haven't thought about this one at all. Can it be a sandwich? With a 1, 9. Don't know. Where would the 1 and 9 go? I mean, that's the trouble is there's just too many possibilities. It could easily be a little killer. Could even be a little killer that way, I imagine. Touch and go that. Maybe that wouldn't work. But it could also be an exum. So this just isn't working at all. Oh, I'm not finding anything to do here. Right. Need to think again. If that was 2, 3, 4, 6 with a 9 here, this would be a 5, 8, 7 triple. Can't see any problems with that. It's so irritating. Is it these two? I mean, this probably can't be Little Killer, given that that's... So I'm looking at this 15, the one at the top of column 2. It can't be Little Killer that way. I don't think it can be that way either. 6, 1, 3, 10, 1, 2, 1, 1. If it went 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 6, maybe it could. Oh, that's really, well, it would be extremely powerful if I could prove it was. But the alternative is sandwich or exums, and they seem entirely available, so I don't think I've got any proof of that at all. Maybe I need to think about them together, these two. If I knew they were the same colour, that would be interesting. No, I'm missing something here. I need to just recalibrate a bit. Right, what's going on? Oh, look, 4s are an X-wing. There is a 4 in one of those, and there's a 4 in one of those, and a 3 in one of those, and a 3 there. So 3 and 4 over here are both in that set. Ah, well, that's going to limit how we make up the 15 sum here, which can still be 2, 6, 7, or 7, 8. Oh, are there any other X-wings going on that I'm missing? There's this 1 X sum, but I've kind of used it already to give me a 1 up here. Right, okay, 3 and 4 are not in the sandwich. So the sandwich is either 6, 7, 2, or it's 7 and 8, in which case... Right, so this... 7's always in the sandwich, so this can't be a 9, because that would push the 7 over here. Okay, well that's some tiny thing learned. But if that's a 9, oh, then it can't be 6, 7, 2. It would have to be 7, 8, 1. If that's a 9. If this is a 9, then it is 6, 7, 2 here. And the 1 is always in this cell. Good Lord. That's bizarre. It's true, though. So I still don't know whether the 9 is in column 8 or column 9 here. But I know that the sandwich will work either way. Now, that's 2 or 8 now. And that's a 1. What's that done for me, if anything? 1, 3, 4. That's a 6, 7, 9. This is 2, 5, or 8. 6 and 7 in this box. Don't know. I mean, has that helped in any way? Is one of these ruled out and I'm just being foolish? 9, 7, 8, 1. We put a 6 there. We'd have a 2, 3, 4, 5 quad going on. No, I cannot tell what's going on there. 1. Oh, come on, that was such an interesting breakthrough, and it's done nothing for me. Those two are the same as those two cells. That's not interesting because of the 6, 7, 9 triples hinged there. So in one case, okay, there's a 15 sandwich down here now. The 15 sandwich in the row where we have the 3, 4 pair here has either an 8 or a 6 going on here, doesn't it? That's what we worked out earlier. Depending on whether the 2 is in the sandwich here, then there's either an 8 or a 6 in the sandwich in one of these cells. If there was an 8, that would have a lot of power here. So if the 1 was in those cells, that would be very useful. And what's the other one? The other one goes 3, 4, 8. Oh, and then there's a 2, 6, 7 triple acting as a sandwich in this area. Oh, what does it mean? It means something. So the 9 that side or there is going to be on the right of a 2, 6, 7 triple with a 1 on the left. Oh, I'm being very slow to catch on today. Something good is happening here and I just can't work it out. 3 and 4, 8 is a pair. 5 with a 1, 2 running into a 3, 4 pair here. Oh. Where can 5 be in this box? Does it have to be up here? The one which has a 5, the row which has a 5 here goes 1, 2 and then 3, 4. And then it has an 8 or a 6 here before the 9. So none of those can be a 5. Well, obviously they can't because of the 5 in the beginning of the row or at the end. The one which has a 3 in, say that's 3, 4, 8. I suppose it could have the 5 there, 9 and 1 at the other ends and 2, 6, 7 in the middle. So 5 could be in those cells or that one, which is a tiny bit restricted, but I don't know how to mark it and I don't know how to use it. And that's depressing. Right, I must be failing to think about something useful at the top. Maybe it's how the 15 sandwich is made up in this row after all. Bother, having to go back to that now. Ah, now, if that was a 9, oh, bother, look, this 1's really important because that can't be a 1 now. So if this was a 9, I think I did work out the sandwich up here was going to have to be 3 cells because it can't be 2, 3, 4, 6. And it can't be 8, 7. Yes. The sandwich in the top row has to be 3 cells, so that can't be a 9 because that can't be a 1. So that's not a 9. And therefore this is, oh well, it gives me a digit. No, that gives me more because it gives me a 9 in the top row. And we know it's a 3-cell sandwich, so that becomes a 1. And these 3 add up to 15. And using the secret that every row adds up to 45, I'm going to say these 2 add up to 9, and they're not 1, 8, 2, 7, or 4, 5. They are 3, 6. And the triple is 2, 5, 8, the sandwich. Okay. Oh, well, I mean, it's something learned, isn't it? Now, that's going to put 8 in one of these cells, 5 in one of these. 6, 1. These are from 2, 4, or 7. Right, this 15 in column 3 can't be a sandwich now because of that 8 getting in the way of any and not being allowed to be part of a 2-cell sandwich. 8, 7, yeah. Okay, so it's not a sandwich, it's not X sums, so it is diagonal. Now it could be 6, 9 there. Can we rule out this diagonal? I think we probably can. How could that add up to 15? The minima are 6, 3 and 2. That's 11 already. This can't be a 1, so it would have to be a 3. That's 14 and that's too many. Right, that cannot be a diagonal. So that is, and that is a 6. And this was a diagonal clue at the top here, so I'm going to mark it red. So we've done that. Now this one, 6 is not a valid X sum start. Sandwich is possible, or is it? It would have to be a 2-cell sandwich, and that would have to be 8, 7 down here, because you can't have 8, 7 there. So if this is either a sandwich or a really long diagonal. Now how could this be a diagonal? 6 and a 1, 3 is 10. 1 there is 11. A 3 there is 14. 1 there is 15. 1 there is 16. That's too many. This is not a diagonal. This is a sandwich. That is an 8, 7 pair. I think we're getting somewhere now. So that gives us a 1 at the bottom here, which I'm going to use in the lateral sandwich in a moment. Now 7. That can't be a 7 because that's a 6, 7, 9 triple. So 8, 7. That 8 fixes 2 and 5. The 2 is in the sandwich, so this is 6 and 7. That's a 9. Oh yeah, suddenly, here we go. Now we've got a 1 here. Okay, forget the sandwich for a moment. Let's do this X sum. This can't be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 X sum, so that's up here. 5 there, with a 1, 2 pair there, and a 3, 4 pair here. So there's no 3, 4 there. This is a 4, 8 pair, and this is a 3. And we've done these bottom rows. Okay, it was getting a 1 there. Yes, it was one of those grey clues that did it. Right. Now this is now a 5, 2 pair, I think, by Sudoku. This is 6 and 9. Now we need to make up this sandwich with an 8 here, and therefore the 1 is here. And that all works. Brilliant. Right, that can't be a 2 or a 6 actually. That's become a 3. Can't do this 4, 8 pair. This is now a 9, 7, 6 triple, where this can't be the 9. This is the sandwich. Now the sandwich contents are 2, 6, 7, I worked out, didn't I? So 2 there, 6, 7 next, and then 9. Lovely. So that gives us a 5 there. Now that stops that being a 5. Let's look up the grid again. 5, 5 fixes the 5 in this 5 to 8. In fact, I can do the whole thing. 2, 8, 5 triple resolved. That's not a 2 and that's not 7. Wow, suddenly. So now this one was red. Yes, I did that. That was that diagonal. This one was green and I've done that. And I've done this one. So I've just got this grey clue and this grey clue. This one's got a 9 here. Now, that could be a diagonal. Bother. 9, 2, 4 makes 15. It can't be a diagonal up here with an 8 and a 9 on it. Can it be... It can't be X sums because of that 9. Could it be a sandwich clue? I think it could quite easily. And that's frustrating. The 1 could be somewhere there. Oh, there's no 3 in those cells. They're getting a bit reduced. Oh, and I've got a sandwich to do here, haven't I? Right. Can I do that now? It's not those two because it's not an 8, 7 pair. No, that's nonsense. The 3's in the sandwich. If that's a 2, this is 6, 4. That still works. If that's a 6, that's already 9. This doesn't work. So that is a 2. Good. And this is a 6, 4 pair. And that's where 9 is. Right. Oh, well, that's quite helpful. So we've got a 1, 3, 7 triple up here. Let's be careful with the pencil marking because it seems to help in this puzzle. This is now 2 and 4 on the left. This is a 5, 8, 7. Oh, that's a naked 5. This must be where 8 goes. Yes, they're all done. The 3, 4 pair down here are done. I thought I'd put 5 in that cell. I must have been in the wrong mode. Oh, and it's all coming together now. This is a very clever puzzle, as always, from Marvin Canhauser. He is one of the best. Now, I've still got this 15. Now, this can't be X sums because 1, 2, and 7 are not possible X sum starters. It's not a diagonal that way, and it's not a diagonal that way. Good Lord. So this is a sandwich clue as well. And this one can still be a diagonal. Now, can we rule it out from being a sandwich yet? No, nothing's happened with it. Oh, there's a 4 X-wing there and there. So one of these is a 4. Oh, 5 and 6, they've been resolved. 6, 5 by a given digit. I'm not very good at spotting those sometimes. 7, that can't be a 2. There's a 6 somewhere here. So we've got this is sandwich. And this we just don't know. Either sandwich or a killer, little killer. Right, what do we do next? Probably something very obvious. Oh look, there's a 3, 4, 6, 7 quad. How strange. Or yeah, okay, the simpler way is to spot there's a 2, 9 pair that can just be written in. 9, 2. Right, this is sandwich. So it's either 7, 8, 1 on the right of the 9 or on the left. Oh, it could be 6, 5, 4. Or even 7, 5, 3. Oh, that's so weird. How is that not obvious? Okay, let's go back to Sudoku then. 2, 9, 3, 5, 8. There's a 6 in one of those, a 4 in one of those. Oh, 3. There's another given resolving a pair that I think is a pair. Right, so this is either 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Or that's 8, 7 with a 1 there. Okay, that would be impossible. 8, 7 with a 1 there would break this cell. Wow. So the sandwich is this side. It is 3, 5, 7. That's going to fix where 6 and 4 go in the central box. Makes this a 1. I think that's going to finish us off, maybe. Oh, apart from a hideous deadly pattern there. Well, I think I know how that's going to be resolved now. 5, 3, 1, 9, 1, 8. They must do almost everything. Yes, this 6, 7's been done. That's now a 1, 3, 7, 4, 6. Come down and do 4, 3. Right, now this deadly pattern is resolved because this sandwich possibility is bust now. That adds up to 13. So this is a little killer clue. It goes up there is where we add up the numbers. That is a 4. That resolves the deadly patterns of 4s and 8s. And there we go. What a brilliant puzzle. That's so clever. Very tricky in my opinion, but very rewarding. Absolutely intriguing. Thanks very much, Marvin, for sending it. And thank you for watching, as always. Well, we have fun with Sudoku. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.